Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for the DCEU movies. As of now, with Birds of Prey, there are 8 movies in this franchise, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Starting off at number 8 is Suicide Squad. I did think this movie was alright. When I very first saw it, I was really disappointed in it. Though I was like really hyped for it and everything, but I thought it was really disappointing. There are a lot of things about it that I don't like, mainly due with the villain and some of the characters being underdeveloped. I thought Enchantress was just a pretty bad villain. Cara Delevingne was not very good at playing her either, but then again, she didn't really have much to work with. But there are some things I like about it. Margot Robbie was great as Harley Quinn, of course, and Will Smith was great as Deadshot. I thought he was really good. And Viola Davis as Amanda Waller was really good, but I thought this was just an alright movie. I just didn't really like that most of the characters are underdeveloped or don't even have much of a backstory and everything, but this was just an alright movie. So Suicide Squad is number 8, and number 7 is Aquaman. Now, this one is one of the ones that I haven't actually gone back and rewatched yet. But this one, and of course Birds of Prey, which I just saw for the first time yesterday. I haven't done a rewatch on this one though, and everything. And it could move up in future rankings when I do this ranking again, whenever one of the next DCEU movies comes out. But I don't think it's going to. I like this movie, but I didn't think it was as good as a lot of people had told me, and like I just thought it was alright. Jason Momoa, though, was great. I loved him as Aquaman. I loved him in Justice League, and I thought he was great in this movie. William Dafoe and Patrick Wilson were both great in this movie. I think, especially Patrick Wilson, he was really good as the villain. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the second movie. It sucks that we have to wait till 2022, but I guess it's good that they're taking their time on it. And I think that James Wan did a really great job directing this one, too. But, yeah, this is easily not one of my most favorites in the DCEU, but I don't think it's terrible at all and everything. One of my main issues with this movie is Amber Heard as Mera. I like the character of Mera and everything, but I don't really like Amber Heard, and I really wish they would have cast somebody else to play her. And hopefully, if we're lucky, they'll recast her in Aquaman 2. I'm not going to keep going, because if I do, I'm going to go on a rant about her. So, I'll just go ahead and get going to the next one. So, Aquaman is number 7, and number 6 is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Whereas it's now being called Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. I just saw this movie yesterday, and like Aquaman, it could move up on rewatch. And I think that this one would probably move up more, have more of a chance of moving up than Aquaman personally. But I did like this movie quite a bit, especially because of Harley. Margot Robbie is just really perfect as the character and everything, and she was one of my favorite parts about Suicide Squad, even though I don't think she was the only good thing about it, like a lot of people say. She's definitely one of the highlights of Suicide Squad, and I thought she was pretty good in this one too. And the R rating, I think, also kind of helped it. Unfortunately, this movie's been underperforming at the box office, probably because of the R rating. but this is a pretty decent movie, though. There are some things about it that I don't like, but kind of like with Suicide Squad, some of the characters are underdeveloped and everything. But besides that, that's really about the main thing about the movie I didn't like. I thought all of the cast members were really good in their parts, especially Journey Smollett-Bell, who plays Black Canary. I thought she was awesome. And I really liked Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress, too. She was pretty good, too. But, so, Birds of Prey is number 6. And number 5 is Man of Steel. This was one that I was not looking forward to seeing. I actually wasn't even planning on ever watching it, and then I saw trailers for Batman vs. Superman, and I got interested in that movie and everything, so I went ahead and watched this one right before Batman vs. Superman came out, and I really regretted waiting so long to see it, because Man of Steel was a great movie. It's easily one of my favorite Superman movies, and Henry Cavill was really good Superman, and Michael Shannon as General Zod was just totally awesome. He's like really crazy, and but he does such a good job playing him. And Amy Adams was great as Lois Lane too. I just really liked Man of Steel quite a bit. There were some things in there that I didn't like about it, but I also like how they humanized him in this movie, which all of them kind of humanize him, but I really like how Superman was written in this movie and everything. So Man of Steel is number 5, and number 4 is Wonder Woman. When this movie first came out, I was really disappointed with it the first time I saw it. Mainly because, I guess, the hype. Because when this movie came out, it was like really, really hyped and everything. But this was actually a really fun movie. And rewatching it, I like it a little bit more every time I rewatch it and everything. Especially since the hype's died down. I've gotten to where I really enjoyed it a lot more. I love Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. I thought he was great. And Gal Gadot is wonderful as Wonder Woman. She was pretty good in Batman vs. Superman, although that was more of kind of a cameo, or extended cameo. But she was really good in this movie, and the rest of the cast was all great too. David Thewlis, I think is his name, plays Ares, and he does a really good job too. Although it's kind of weird seeing him as a villain after growing up watching him in the Harry Potter movies as Professor Lupin, but I still thought he did a pretty good job. I think the battle in the final act was a little bit didn't work too well. I mean, I think it didn't live up to the first 2 halves of the movie, but 2 acts. But I think it was still decent. I think it's a lot better than most people say it is, and everything. And I did like this movie quite a bit. So Wonder Woman is number 4, and number 3 is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I remember when this movie first came out, I had gotten to be really, really hyped for it. I had watched all of the Superman movies and all of the Batman movies to prepare for it and everything, because I was just starting to get into DC. I had been a big Marvel fan for a long time, and I was just coming around to getting into DC, and I just absolutely was blown away by this movie. I just absolutely loved it. Ben Affleck, who's always been one of my favorite actors. I've liked him ever since I was a kid. When I first heard he was playing Batman, I thought it was a really stupid decision, and then I started seeing trailers, and started really thinking about it. I was like, if he's really that interested in playing Batman, like he's always said he is, he probably is going to be a good pick. And he was. He was great as Batman. One of the very best actors to play him. I thought he just did a really great job. I think Henry Cavill was really good as Superman again in this one. And I really liked Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I know most people hate him, but I don't really... I guess I can understand why some people didn't like him, because he was kind of more like the Riddler than Lex Luthor, but I actually thought that Jesse Eisenberg did a really great job playing him. I love the different take on the character. I think I'd rather him over, especially over Kevin Spacey from Superman Returns. But I really did like Batman vs. Superman, so it's number 3. And number 2 is Justice League. Now this movie could have been and should have been a lot better than it was, I'll admit that. But I still really enjoyed it. It had a really good cast. And everything. Ben Affleck was great as Batman again. And it was our introduction to Ezra Miller as the Flash. And I can't remember the guy that plays Cyborg, but he was really good. And Jason Momoa was great as Aquaman. It was a great introduction to him. And Gal Gadot was great again as Wonder Woman. And Henry Cavill was once again great as Superman. I love the way the movie was done. I do think some things were rushed about this movie, kind of like with Batman vs. Superman. I feel like DC was they were really trying to rush to catch up with Marvel and stuff. They should have at least waited a few more movies to do it, but at the same time I'm kind of glad DC was doing their own thing. So it was kind of a mixed bag, but I did think that Justice League was a lot of fun and everything. It could have been a lot better, and most of the other movies in the DCEU are better made movies. Like the editing and special effects and stuff like that are better in most of the other ones, but I still really enjoyed this movie. I loved getting to see all these characters together, and I would love to see them together again in a better done movie. Hopefully we will get some better ones before too long, but I did really enjoy this one. So Justice League is number 2. And my number 1 favorite movie of the DCEU is Shazam. This movie was just a total blast from start to finish. I absolutely love this movie. When I went to see it in the theaters back in April of last year, I had been having a really hard time with some personal things that were going on in my life, and that movie really kind of helped me during that time and everything. Like, it made me feel joy again for the first time after some stuff had happened and everything. So I kind of have respect for it for that. And it just is a really charming movie. That the whole cast is great in here, especially Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam or Captain Marvel. I don't know. They never actually say in the movie what his name is, because it's supposed to be Captain Marvel, but I think because of rights and stuff, they call him Shazam. I'm not for sure, but Zachary Levi was great as him, and the kid that plays him plays Billy Batson, is great. And all the other cast members are really, really good. I absolutely love Shazam, and can't wait to see what happens next. Hopefully Shazam 2 will be really good. Once again, we have to wait till 2022, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait and everything. And I'm also excited to see Black Adam, which is supposed to be out, I think, next December. But yeah, so anyway, that's my ranking for the DCEU. Let me know in the comments how you would rank these movies, or if you don't want to do your full ranking, just let me know your favorite and least favorite movies of the DCEU so far. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
That's enough, guys.
Some people started singing it, not knowing what continue singing it forever just because this is the song that